Hey guys, welcome to Editing 101, and this is lesson number 3 where I will break down my recent very simple edit that I made. It's a free CE, which means a free clip edit. These are just free clips that I got in Judgment, not montage clips, more like episode clips. But yeah, let's get started. This is how it looks, the result. There's not much going on. There's only 19 layers in the main composition, and yeah, the other compositions are just compositions with the clip in it, nothing more. So it's not that hard for you guys to understand this, I hope. But yeah, let's start with the beginning. Let's uncheck some stuff like the color corrections. Alright, so let's make the screen bigger. So I start here. This is the first clip. So I fade it in, and then I fade it back out. And what I did is, if I let's remove these keyframes. So this is how it would look normally. Like let's remove the blur. Like this. This is normal speed and everything. But what I did is, first of all, of course, I went to this place, this exact moment in the clip where I pick up the breach shot. Then I right click, time, enable time remapping. And what this does is, if you know what in Vegas, if you want to fast forward something, you can do it with this. And basically the value is the exact time at that moment. So you can, for instance, keyframe this, nothing happens, go forward, where he picks it up, like here, keyframe that. And now you have two keyframes and nothing has changed, but if you put this keyframe closer, then this part over here will be fast forwarded. And if you put this keyframe further away, then this will be slower. So that's what I did. I made this a little bit slower. I don't know, to give it a more slow-mo effect without Twixtor or stuff, but I won't talk about Twixtor yet. But that's one thing I did, and then I pressed T for opacity, keyframed it, set it to 0, go a little bit further, set it to 100, go here, keyframe for 100 again, go here and set it to 0. So you'll get this without any CC or anything. That's kind of what I did. So that's the first thing. And then let's go further. Alright, so this effect is used a lot, to be honest, but you should not use it a lot, because it's a very basic effect, and I just did it because it's very simple. But it's called a CC lens, and I used it as a transition, and I'll show you. Let's remove it first, so I'll show you how I did it. Well, actually, I used a preset of mine, but I can do it again without a preset. So you search for CC lens in the effect search bar. Here it is at the start. Drag it onto the clip, and you'll get this. So first of all, make the size 0, I think, and then keyframe that. Go a little bit further, like here. Put it all the way up to 500. Now, if you can see, if I disable the CC lens, there's still some distortion going on. That's because you need to tone down the convergence back to 0 too. So you can keyframe that as well, but do it a little bit later, somewhere here, because that looks just better in my opinion. And then here set it to 0. So it will look like this. Very basic too. So that's that. Then let's go further. So by the way, these markers, you can make them, but if you don't have any layer selected and you press on the numpad star or asterisk, however it's called, then you create a marker on the composition, like here on above. You can delete that, and if you select a layer and press numpad star, then you put it on the layer. So what I did is, for every clip, I went to the exact moment where I shoot, like here, and I create a marker over there so I know where to sync the stuff. And over here, as you can see, I shoot. And the markers on the composition here above are markers, those are syncing points for the music. And how I did that is, if I just solo the music right now, so I won't hear the clips. And if you press numpad period, so if you press that, then you will preview the music. I think I said that before, I don't know. But while you're previewing, I don't know, my PC is very slow. Oh my god. Can you still hear me? What's going on? Alright, I don't know what happened, but I'll just continue for now. So if you press numpad periods, then you will preview the music, and you can press on the star while hearing the music, and it will automatically create a marker at that point. So let's undo those. Oh, that one and that one. Alright, so here I synced it to this point. It's a little bit before, doesn't matter. So I sync that, then I go further, and I notice that the second shot is like here. Here would the second shot would be normally, but the syncing point for the music is right here. So what I did is I just made a very simple transition. It's the scaling transition that I showed in the first tutorial with some motion blur. So what I did is I keyframed. Let's remove this. I'll just show it again. I keyframed the scale at 0, went a little bit further, keyframed it at 120, I think, or 110, I don't know. Then I pressed F9, and that's the same if I undo this and I go to keyframe assistant easy ease. What this does is it smooths the keyframe a little bit, like it goes a little bit slower when it's approaching the keyframe, and also a little bit slower when it's going away from the keyframe. But and then I go here and set it back to 100. And this one, you don't have to notice what I'm doing right now, but I just remove the easy ease. So it goes like this. And also check the motion blur box over here and over here for the composition itself. So I did that. Very simple. And here I just synced it to the music. Alright, so here I forgot to make a transition. I did it a little bit too fast, the whole edit. I made it in like 30 minutes or so. But at least this point is synced here. So I shoot, nothing really fancy. Here, as you can see, the next clip comes from the right and it pushes away the left clip. So I'll show you how to do that. Let's remove the keyframes, put it back into the standard size. Alright, so what I did is, first of all, I synced this shot to the beat, so I did that. Then I went back and overlaid the two clips a little bit. And then I set the position, because my clips are in 1080p, I need to put the clip exactly the screen size to the right. So the screen size over the x-axis is 1920. So I push here plus 1920. So it goes to the right. I don't know what I did here. Alright, so the previous clip is now in the center, and the next clip is to the right here. So you can both keyframe both the layers and keyframe them 90-20 to the left, or you just make one layer dependent on the other one. And how you can do that, you can parent them on the other one. So if I say this clip needs to follow this clip. So if this clip goes to the left, then this one goes to the left as well. If this clip goes to up, then this one goes up as well. So what I do is this pick whip, if you click and drag that and drag it over to this clip, so this one, if I move this one, then the other one moves as well, as you can see. So it's this is a very useful tool. So what I do now is I press P for position. Oh, I already had that. And keyframe it. Go a little bit further. Put it to 960 because that's the center. And of course, enable both the motion blurs on both clips. Because if you only enable it on the right one, then this one will not be affected, of course. So that's it. Very useful. Very cool. Alright, so this shot is synced. And now a little bit more difficult. Well, it's not that difficult. It just takes a little bit more time. As you can see, it went very fast in the edit. I maybe had to slow it down a little bit. But as you can see, I masked out this particular part. Wait, let's go a little bit further. This particular part over here, I masked it out. And I made it go up from here. So I'll show you how to do that. As you can see, it goes like bang, and there's a flash. And then it goes further. So I'll remove these two. This one and... No, don't autosave or whatever. And this one. Alright, so of course, let's remove. Well, I have a, no, I'll remove this, I'm sorry. Alright, so of course this is also synced. So I always first sync all the shots to the music. So I did that. And then here, I thought, let's make a masked transition. So what I do is I duplicate this layer, so Control D. Then I right click it, go to time, and freeze the frame. So wherever you go on the layer, it's still that frame. So you can extend it over here, remove it a little bit, clip it there. And now I go to the pen tool, and I kinda, let's see, I don't really want this part over here. I'll just start over here. Like this. I'll just do it really fast right now, just to show kind of how to do it. But take your time if you do it yourself, because you want it to look good, of course. But this is kind of how you do it. So like that, and then outside it doesn't matter, you can do whatever you want. But this is how it looks. And then I go to the mask properties, so double M. Feather it a little bit, like for, I don't know, 4 pixels. Let's remove the yellow mask outline. And then expand it a little bit back. Like that. Right, so you got that thing. Yeah. Right, so this frame over here matches this layer. What we just masked out. So let's see. We'll clip it over here. And here we're going to fade it very quickly in. I don't know, I do that because, I don't know, I think it looks a little bit better. You don't really see it, to be honest. I just like to do it. So like this. Yeah, you won't see this difference in the edit. So the only thing left to do is to keyframe the position of this thing. So press P, keyframe it, put it down, go over, wait, let's do it like this. Go over here and put it back to 540. And this is how it would look. Okay, let's do it a little bit faster. Like this, and let's turn on the motion blur. So it will look like that. And now the only thing left to do is to add a flash to everything. So create an adjustment layer, put it back down. Clip it over here. And then go to exposure. Drag it onto the adjustment layer. Keyframe the exposure, set it to a lot, like this. Then go a little bit further over here maybe and set it to 0. And maybe easy ease this one. So I'll preview this so you'll see the results. Yeah, pretty cool. Alright, so that's kinda not so basic anymore. It's a little bit intermediate now. So this transition, this kind of transition at least, it's what you do with it, what defines the difficulty. But I also clipped this adjustment layer just to make it a little bit more more cleaner. So I shoot this guy and go a little bit further. And over here you see this thing goes all the way down and then fades to the other clip, and this really fits the music over here. I'll just preview it. There's just certain parts in the music that you need to watch out for, that you can really use as a transition. So this really fits the music, and this is really simple. I'll just remove everything for now. Of course, I first went to this clip over here, and I synced this shot here. So here I shoot the guy, and let's sync to the beat. So then I go back and I have these two clips a little bit overlapped. Then I create a adjustment layer, put it back down, and these two markers here, these define the beginning of that transition and the end of the transition based on the music that I heard. So I'll just clip these two right here, and then I go to the effect called offset. So drag that to the adjustment layer. Then I start at the beginning and keyframe the shift center 2. Then I go to the end here, and I put it a lot up, like for something here it was, I think. And then I'll just check what exact value it is that makes it full screen. So I guess it's 4860. So this is how it looks, like this, but you need to fade it in over here. So I'll just clip it a little bit, press T for opacity, put it at 0, put it to 100, and you're done. So I'll preview this again. Oh wait, finishing touch to make it look better. Easy ease both of these keyframes. So with F9, both of the keyframes of the offset. So it looks like it accelerates and then decelerates. Looks much better with this effect. Alright, so that's done. Not much left. So I shoot this guy. Nothing nothing too fancy, just shoot. Then over here, a little bit further, this this pops up. So this I use often too. I use it in like Butter's Demontage and everything, and some other edits. But I'll show you how to do this. So I also noticed that the second beat is earlier than the shot itself. So the shot itself would be over here, but the beat is like here somewhere. So I make a transition and put the clip a little bit earlier on. So what I did, let's remove everything again. Let's remove the mask, the scale, put it back to 100, and that's it, I think. Yeah. So this is how it would look like without a transition. So it cuts, then I shoot this idle guy, and it goes further. So what I did is I went to, you go over here, click and hold it, and then go to the ellipse tool. Then I zoom a little bit in. So what I want to do is mask this circle here. So I go to the middle, somewhere here, it doesn't have to be very perfect, and then click and drag, hold shift. If you hold shift, then the ratio will be the same, and if you hold control, then the center will be where you started from. So if you hold this and then kind of put it over there, so you're done. Go to the mask properties, so feather it a little bit. I think I did 6 or something, and then that looks good enough. Then go back, push S for scale, keyframe it, put it to 0. Oh, I'm sorry, 0. Go a little bit further, put it to 120. Easy. Oh no, don't easy ease it yet. Go a little bit further again, and put it to 100. So an easy ease the middle keyframe. So I use this a lot. This is like a pop-up effect, so it goes like boop. And I shoot the guy. So I can also do this a little bit later on, like this, I think. And let's preview this. What happens? Oh yeah, I forgot one thing. When I shoot, then you see the mask is still there, but what I did is when I shoot, so somewhere over here, I go to the mask properties, keyframe the mask expansion, then go just over here, kind of, and then put it way up. Oh, there's nothing. Oh, okay. So put it. What's going on? Oh, all right. Yeah, my PC is very slow today. I don't know why, but I just expand it all the way so it fills the whole screen. So somewhere to 900 or something. So let's preview this. Right? Very cool. So we did that. And then a simple position transition, nothing too fancy. It's not even pushing it, it's just coming from below. I don't know if I need to show this, but it's just a keyframe over here that puts the next clip below it, then a keyframe that puts it in the center, and then a motion blur added to it, and that's everything. So like that. Then I go a little bit further, and over here you could not really see it in the edits because it went too fast, I guess. But it is a glow effect. What I did is let's do it again. So this shot is synced to the beat, and I created a adjustment layer. I put it back down. Go a little bit back, clip it over here, and clip it over here. Then go to glow, and you need the regular one, so stylized glow. drag it to the adjustment layer, and you'll immediately see the glow. But all I did is here, the glow color, set it to A and B. I set this to red. The color was red. And let's see, I keyframed the threshold. So at the beginning, the threshold was 100%. So keyframe that, go a little bit further and set it to 0. And also press T for opacity on the adjustment layer, set it to 100 over here. And so fade it out over here to 0. You can even do it over here if you want, because that doesn't really matter. But yeah, it creates this kind of scanning effect, but you didn't really see it in the edit, it went too fast. So you could do it, like if I want to fix that, I can do it like a little bit longer, like this. So let's preview this too, because I'm curious to how it looks. So there it goes, kind of a scan, and boom, blind fire. Alright, and in the end I kind of faded it to white, but I didn't really finish it too well because the music went a little bit weird, but it doesn't matter. So I'll show you how to do that. I'll remove everything again. So over here it should stop. And what I did is I created a adjustment layer, put it back down over here, clip it, then go to exposure, put it on the adjustment layer, set the keyframe first at 0, and then a little bit to the end, go to a lot, like this. But as you can see, the exposure only really affects the highlights, and there's still something going on. If you really want to be it all white, you need to put it all the way up and still something is on the screen. So what I did as well is I went to layer, new solid, and I created a white solid. So this is already white. Press on OK, put it above the adjustment layer. Doesn't really matter, to be honest, but I did above. Then I clipped it over here, press T for opacity, put it to 0, and then at the end put it, well, a little bit before, to be honest, put it to 100, so it will fade it really to white, like this. So it goes like fade to white. Yeah, and in the end I also created a text in the corner, and it just said by Kaos Richie, and I just set it over here and put it on top of everything except for the color corrections, which I will show in a moment. And I put it somewhere here and then fade it in, so opacity is 0, and go a little bit further, opacity 100, and if you want you can also easy ease that shit. So let's preview this, and it fades to white and my name comes on the screen. Yeah, so that's basically the whole edit. Now only left are the color corrections, and by the way, this everything you can do it yourself because there's no third-party plugins involved in this edit. However, in the next couple of tutorials I will be using some third-party plugins, so it's best if you search for them. Let's see. So for the first this kind of moment over here, I made it kind of black and white. So I'll first show everything. I'm not sure why there was glow on this. Oh, I guess for a little bit of diffusion. Well, I kinda always use Magic Bullet Lux. It's a third-party plugin for color corrections, but you can also create your own color corrections with the default plugins in After Effects. So what I did, let's remove everything first. So first of all, I went to the plugin called Curves, or effect called Curves. And by the way, I clipped, like I have two adjustment layers over here for the color correction. I have this first one for the first moment over here, which will be black and white. And then this one for the rest of the whole edit. So I go over here and I create some curves. And the curves is, you don't really need to understand it, but just know that if you like this part over here is for the shadows, the middle is for the like the medium stuff, and then the top part of the line is for the highlights. So if I kind of do it like this, then the shadows will be very dark and the highlights will be a lot brighter. But I'll reset that for now. I'm not sure what I did. I think I did something like this. So wait, let's put it back. I think something like this. So so the shadows are kind of the same, but the medium stuff is a little bit brighter, and then the highlights get a lot brighter too. So as you can see, it's just for contrast, you know. So you get this. I'm enabling and disabling it, so you see the difference. Just looks a little bit better. Then I went to hue and saturation to make it black and white. So to make it black and white, just desaturate it all the way back, and it will be black and white. And I also added a glow, I think, for a little bit of diffusion. I don't really use that normally. I mean, not as glow. I put it on top. Like if you put effects, if you they're like layers, you know. If you put the glow, I mean, like if you put the glow first, then first it will make the glow, then it will do the curve, and then it will do the hue and saturation. So if I, for instance, create a tint effect, so I put the tint and I put it on the bottom, and I map the black to red, for instance, then you can see it will be all red and stuff. But if I put the hue and saturation on the bottom, then it will first of all make it all red, and then the hue and saturation thing will make it black and white. So it matters in what order you put your effects on the effect controls stuff. So with glow, what I did was the threshold was, I don't know what I did. I really don't know. I don't remember. Wait. I think I made A and B and then give it a little bit of red, I think. I think I did it kind of like this. Well, let's do it like this. It's for a little bit of diffusion or something. I don't know. You know what? I'll just remove it for now. But just remember these two. So curves and hue and saturation for the contrast and to make it black and white. And then over here, as you can see, this is what I did. Oh, I see what the glow. Oh, I don't have any glow here. Okay. So over here, I did the same. So the curves and hue and saturation, I'll just leave it there. And then these two I'll remove. So this is how it looks without, like the hue and saturation, I didn't make it black and white. I just desaturated it a little bit, like -35. If you don't know what saturation is, it's kind of the intensity of colors. So if you put intensity all the way back to -100, then it's black and white. If you put it all the way up, then it's super intense and it's like you're high or something. But let's put it back to somewhere around -35. And what I did is I added a 4-color gradient over it to overlay that. So go to 4-color gradient. Put it in the color correction thing. And what I did is this color Like you can set the positions of the colors and the colors themselves, of course, you can change. So I made this one red, I think. The green one I made blue. And the bottom ones I made white. And then I put the blend a little bit higher, I think. So as you can see, it blends in more. I think I did a little bit like this, and then this one a little bit closer to the middle. This one too, something like that, and kind of like this. So I fool around a little bit. So this is what you get, and then to blending mode, I went to overlay, and then also the opacity. So the kind of the intensity of the colors. I think I put it at 75 or something, or maybe even lower, 45. So it's just a subtle color effect, color gradient. Alright, so I did that, and also at the end I added some sharpen just for fun. I never really do that, but I sharpened it for 5 or something. I don't know if you see the difference. Yeah, there's little difference. Alright, so that's the whole breakdown of this edit. So I showed everything. So here you go, a little bit slow-mo, black and white. And then boom, the CC lands. The color correction is how it looks like. The shots are synced. Then you get this transition. Where is it? Transition, here you go. Yeah, transition. Then I shoot, and then I forgot a transition over here, but it doesn't matter. This is all synced. Then, you know what? I'll make this adaptive resolution. Then this happens, this transition. The next clip comes from the right, pushes the left clip away. I shoot here. Then this masked transition comes up over here. And there's a flash when it happens. I blind fire that guy, then I go a little bit further, and this offset transition comes up. It fades to the other clip. I shoot this guy in the head. Then the next clip pops up right over here. And I shoot him. Then a very simple position transition that goes up with some motion blur. Then right before the shot, this scanning, red scanning effect that you don't really see. What the fuck? Oh, here you go. Here. Boom. And I shoot him. And then everything fades to white, and my name comes here in the left bottom corner. So yeah, that's it guys. This was the breakdown. A couple of tutorials later I'll make another one with a higher difficulty level kinda. So I hope you enjoyed and learned something and tried to make an edit for yourself now. I'll give this project and its footage, I'll upload it and give a link in the description so you can check this all out yourself. It will be the saved version though, not this one. And yeah, you can fool around with some stuff and just look at everything what I did to see how I did it. What else? Oh yeah, be sure to okay, wait, I'll show you how to do it. So first of all, I'll just quit After Effects. It's by the way free CE, not an OCE. And here is the folder where I put all the footage in. And fuck man, this computer is super slow at the moment. Come on. Alright. So. Alright, so here I put everything. So if I rename this, then After Effects will not find the footage. So I'll just show you how to make After Effects say tell where all the footage is. Just remove this autosave over here. Oh, what the fuck did I do? No. Go back. Oh wait, oh here. Yes, remove that. So if I rename this to 2 or something. And I go to After Effects. This will probably be very slow. I have something to drink over here. Oh, please load up faster. By the way, guys, if you have any requests for effects, just wait a little bit. I'll just do the basics first. I'm almost done, to be honest. I think maybe for the next one I already can do a certain effect or something. But if you have requests, just go to the Facebook page and ask over there. I always reply over there, so just do that. So if I go to the project right now, oh, it won't even find it. Okay, so if I go to Open Project, where is the Judgmental thing? Right here. Okay, so it will find. Damn. Wait a second, guys. So, let's do new. Don't save. Okay, so if I rename these clips, for instance. So the thing I want to show is that, and when I give you guys this folder, I think, because the path will be different, because the path here says see users reach your desktop. And I think that's within the project file. I don't know. Just anyway, if you have problems with finding a particular footage, like if I go over here now, yeah, okay, so it says 4 files are missing since you last saved this project. That's probably what will happen when you open my project file, and you will see this. So just go to the footage over here, and these 4 files here, footage, are not found. So all you need to do is right click, replace footage file, and just, let's see, this is not the right folder. I need to go to the desktop. Over here, so this is the back-to-back hard aim, it's this one. Open and it will find it, then replace this one as well. This one. And this one. So you know really what it is. By the way, the names may be a little bit weird, because here it says GoJ campaign, but that's not the case. It's actually free for all, but don't mind that. Replace footage, this one, and now it knows where everything is, and everything will be okay again. So just do that, and everything will be fine. So yeah, guys, that's it for today, and the project file will be in the description, and check that out. And go to the Facebook page, go like that, and ask your questions and requests and everything. And I'll see what I'll do for the next tutorial. Yeah, that was it, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.